Hello? Yeah. Let me have a yes. Let me have a yes if you can hear me. Okay, everyone. You are welcome on board TC Demi, otherwise known as T Concepts Academy. This is an academy that was founded some years back and it's located right here in the United States in Maryland. Permit me share my screen. Yeah. So I can really present, yeah, this is TC Demi. So this is our website, right here. We offering, training courses, mostly in AI, tech skills, and, other domains, but we've decided to start with, IT trainings. And the first one we picked today that we're going with today is, Azure Data Engineering. So you are welcome on board TC Demi, and this company is a company that we have experienced trainers, and we'll be having some time to listen to our trainer who is going to present his profile very soon. And we'll see that we have someone who has experience, more than 10 years experience in the industry. So before we move on, I would like us to talk about why we are here today. So we are here today to look at Azure Data Engineering. The package is to train you for 2 months. The 2 months of training is going to be very intensive. It's going to be very intensive because it's a daily training from 7 to 8 um, Eastern time and from 8 to 9 Central time. So we'll be having this training every day, 1 hour Mondays to Friday. It's a hands-on training that will be having assignments that we have to complete. We have projects that we have to complete, and there's a lot of interaction. So please, we advise our students, if you are here, ask questions as you can so as to clarify your doubts about anything. Yes, it's a totally hands-on training because we have someone who has been in the industry. He will be using real-time exercises, examples to get us to see how the environment works, the job environment works. So in addition to this, we'll be having our career and job support, which is the most important. Some people, they come, they want, that's only the package they want. That is the most important one that we're going to talk about later. But I just want to mention that our career and job support, we will really present this package to you when people must have spent some time, like more than 1 month into the course. When you must have spent some time, like more than 1 month into the course, we'll present this package to you. You will see where we have our career guidance, professional branding, job support. This means that we'll be helping people to search jobs and to submit applications for them. Um, we complete, and you must complete this training to a certain level before we engage with you, so as to be sure that if we are following you up in an interview, we should know that this person at least can do something. This person can defend us. This person can represent TC Demi, because this is already a strong growing brand here in the United States. So we'll have career coaching sessions that will take place every week. We'll review your LinkedIn, we'll enhance them, we'll help you to enhance them. We'll show you how to search and apply for jobs, and we'll have a lot more other packages. A very good package that I really want to present to you, to you people, is the daily job search and application assistance that we have. I mean, we'll assist you in submitting applications until you get a job. That's a package. We submit your applications based on maybe daily, weekly, or monthly arrangement. That's a package. And we apply and follow you up on percentage basis. So these are important elements or benefits that TCDEMI we are offering to our students, and we just need you to enroll in the class, study maybe just about after 1 month, and we know that this person, you have the skills that you can at least go into the market, and we start preparing, working on your resume and how to get you into the journey of becoming an Azure data engineer. So my name is Dr. Silva. I'm the founder and CEO of TCDEMI, and I've been in the education and technology industry for 15 years. And I've mostly been a data AI and data leader. So this has been my thing for so many years, and I think that it's time for me to share my experience with others. So I'm thanking everyone for joining us, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Um, Before we start the classes, I would like to share us some rules. We have rules and regulations on how our classes are going to function. Um, it's really important because these are online classes. We need to be committed uh, in whatsoever we do. So these are we have the class rules right here. The rules and regulations. I want to read it to everyone present here today. Um, please, I would like that as our class will be beginning right on the June 22nd, that's next week. We need you to be punctual. Please always join between 5 to 10 minutes before we start. Equally use your names to join so that we can be able to track our participants. This is equally because we have a list that an enrollment list, put your name there. We need to know that this person is our student. So we equally want you to maintain professional conduct and respect instructors and follow other learners. People need to respect themselves. I know we're working with professionals, and I know they're dignified people. Please always keep your microphone muted unless you have been permitted to speak. We equally want you to participate actively by asking questions, engaging in discussions in the class. Make it lively since it is a hands-on training. They'll be showing you the job environment, the job boards, real-time projects and problems in the job environment. So interaction is critical here. So, and we do not record if you are not permitted to, or do not distribute our materials without authorization. That is strictly our copyright policy. So please don't do that. You will have access to the Google Drive to download the classes, download course materials, and these materials, you will have them live, but please don't share them elsewhere because we're going to have CCDMI watermark on them. Equally I was just talking about our intellectual property. So equally stay focused and avoid unrelated activities during classes. Then report any technical issues promptly. If you're in someone's internet or the teacher's internet isn't working or the microphone, please, you can write, you can report it so that we can quickly fix it. We equally want people to demonstrate academic integrity in all assessment and projects. Please turn in your assignment on time because we have a lot of assignment hands-on to do during this training. We equally want you to really commit to continuous learning and practices outside here. Our teacher, our tutor will always like refer you to go for further training, not for further training, but actually to get other material somewhere that would complement what we are doing. So please, we encourage students to carry out research and to equally do something out of the class. So these are the rules that I would like uh, our students to follow. And thank you once more for joining. And I'm glad that you are here. And I wish that you guys should be glad to be here because we are beginning a journey, a journey that will take us to higher heights. Data, data is the billions of today. So you are welcome to the class. And we'll be having our teacher, Mr. Vamshi. He's a trainer. Um, He'll be presenting himself and he'll take on from here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And let me have a yes on the chat. If you are here, let me see you have a yes on the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Bamshi, you're welcome, sir.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you, Silva. Fine.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. Welcome everyone to this session on ADE, Azure Data Engineering. And so this is your coach, your trainer. I'm Vamshi, and so I'm working as an AI research scientist at Microsoft. You can check my profile here on LinkedIn. So this is my profile. And so I've been into this space for almost 12, 18 years and into AI. I'm already in 10 years experience into this AI. Right now, I'm working as an AI research scientist. But let me tell you, out of my experience, right? So why data engineering is really trending today, despite we have, I mean, lot of, see, we hear a lot about AI, right? AI, generative AI, and again, few other things here. So I'll tell you, okay, so why exactly this is really trending? Because, guys, data is the real fuel. Even if you're preparing any kind of chat GPT kind of bot or any other kind of AI kind of things, right? Data is the real fuel here. Without data, there is no other kind of concept here. So that is why data rules are trending. Okay, so then again, see, it will be exponentially rising in the coming days as well. So from my experience, so I'll tell you what exactly this one is. And now let me walk you down through the course details here. So what we'll be learning as part of this session. So we'll try to understand what is Azure Data Engineer, and then, so we'll also try to understand the services. So as part of ADE, in short, we call it as ADE. All right. So ADE services. Okay. What are the services of ADE? Services in ADE. And then we'll also look at from the basic point of view, why we require this kind of concept here. Okay. So why data engineering? So why it is trending? So we look at all these things here. Right. So let me walk you down through the details of this one. And to the end of this session, I'll also will also go through a curriculum. Okay, so or the contents of Azure Data Engineer. So what are the contents? What you'll be preparing, and again, what are the real world projects we will be learning as part of this course, and again the hands-on scenarios which we'll be learning as part of this course here. Yeah, I'll also tell you that, Sam. Okay, so we'll discuss that. Wow, how it is different here. All right. And again, which is having much trend here. We'll also discuss that either AWS or Azure. But let me tell you, it is Azure that is winning over everywhere. So AWS has few things that are yet to be, I mean, raised. Okay, so we'll also discuss that. What exactly is that one? Okay, so to the end of the course, I'll also walk you down through the course contents, and I'll also show you some kind of job descriptions or dice.com or LinkedIn or any other kind of site you take it, and we'll compare. Okay, so what they are asking, and again, are we preparing the right contents? Okay, so that you can easily land a job into this field here. And the best part of this course is, so we'll also train you in AI, okay, a few basics into AI. Okay, so because today, not only data engineering, so you need to have few concepts about generative AI. So we'll also discuss what is generative AI as part of this course here. So that is the new add-on, okay, so to your course here. So generative AI basics here. Fine. So we'll try to understand what are LLMs. Okay, so what is generative AI? Fine. After the course here, so we'll look at this aspects as well. So you can stand out from others here in the job in this highly competitive world. You can also stand again. You can easily land a job into this one. All right. So now let me quickly start this session. So I don't want to brag much about this particular things here. See, as part of this question, okay, sorry, as part of this session, right, you need to understand something about the traditional data warehousing architecture. Data warehousing architecture. So what exactly it is that? So let me show you this. So if I go here, data warehousing. So if you like for example, so if you data warehouse, okay. If you just type in data warehouse, so you get this kind of okay, so concepts here, fine. But let me explain you what exactly is this one. Okay, so data warehouse. All right. So you can take it anything. Fine. So this is the traditional three-tier data warehousing architecture. All right. So before to cloud, we had this kind of implementation. The industry followed this kind of method. So what exactly it is that? I'll tell you with a live example. That means some kind of industry use case here. All right. So let us take the case of Walmart. Now, you people might be aware of Walmart, right? So the biggest retailer, okay, so across North American region. I mean, not only in US, Canada as well. Okay, so let us consider the US kind of region here. Fine. Now, so now people will be purchasing, okay, so we'll be visiting Walmart stores, okay, so the physical stores here. Some people might be purchasing online, okay, so or some people might be having some kind of app, okay, so they might be purchasing using different ways here, okay. So here you need to understand the data will be captured in different ways here. Now, when you visit the store, you make a transaction, that means you purchase some kind of product. So some kind of your details will be entered into their system here. So using the barcode scanners, they will be automatically tracking the transaction and they'll be storing it. So with this customer who has purchased so and so kind of products here. So this is a daily trend, right? Okay, so in the retail scenario here, fine. Apart from that one, people also, customers also visit the store online. That means they go to some kind of website here and they purchase some kind of products here. Again, the data is getting generated in some other kind of format here. Fine. Again, they also purchase through some kind of apps here. So likewise, wherever you go, data is getting generated into different formats here. And as per the data generation, data is classified into three different types here. Three types of data. Fine. So what are they? Structured data. And again, we also call it as semi-structured data. And then we also call it as unstructured data. Now, what are these kind of data here? Structured data, the meaning is it has already some kind of predefined structure. Fine. So you can think of it as some kind of data which is arranged in a table format. Okay, table format. So the RDBMS systems, right? So you know the RDBMS systems here. Fine, like Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, Postgres. Okay, so MariaDB or whatever you take it. Okay, so these are all some kind of databases where they hold this kind of format here. Fine, you people know this one. Now, what is semi-structured data? Semi-structured data is something which resembles something in the format of structured and unstructured kind of data. So, especially your HTML and again XML, okay, so another web pages, okay, all these things resemble some kind of semi-structured data. And now, what is unstructured data? Unstructured data is something which doesn't has any kind of structure here. It doesn't has any kind of structure, guys. Okay. So now the best example of this one is this text file here, this notepad. Okay. So this is a perfect example of unstructured data. So do you think that it has any kind of structure? No, right? Okay. Again, likewise, you have email data, your email. Okay. Again, your messaging platforms today. So today we are dealing with Telegram. Today we have like WhatsApp and different other kind of channels here. Fine. So where we can message, we can text someone. All right. And again, likewise, IoT devices here. IoT devices mean the smart devices. We are living in a smart world, like smart television, smart phones, okay, smart watches and everything. Okay, so data is again getting generated in different format here. Now you watch movies online, data is again getting generated. You search for something over Google search, data is again getting generated in some other kind of format. So all these things resemble unstructured kind of patterns. And not only that one, see, you also have the data into images, audio, video, and other kind of formats as well here. Fine. So again, see, these are all things comes under streaming kind of format here. Streaming streams, or we also call it as data streams here, streaming data. Okay. So these are the patterns of this one here. Fine. Now let us go back here. So think of this. See, now in the left hand section, you can see this data sources, right? So think of this data sources are the data collected by the Walmart. Okay. So in different ways here. Now think that some kind of data has been stored into SQL database here, Oracle or Microsoft SQL Server. Now this is into some kind of CRM systems here. Like you will be having different customer, okay, so portals here. So they have
So
been
it's
stored
okay
into that
for you
kind
to
of
sign in.
format. Yeah. And again, so there is also some kind of data which is stored into some kind of Excel. Now, MNC Excel, right? Excel, CSV kind of format. So these are the web, files here. Now, when you have the data into different ecosystems, right? Different environments, right? Now, how will you deal with this data? So this is what we actually do here. Now we actually extract all the data from this different ecosystems or environments into one single repository called as data staging. Now this we call it as data staging, data repository or staging repository. People call it by different terminologies, guys. All right. Now what is the purpose of this staging area? One thing, when the data is stored into different things, right? Understand that you are working as a data developer there. All right. So you have been given the task to analyze the sales here, Walmart sales here over a period of time here. Now, what you do? So you integrate all this kind of data, you convert all this kind of data into one single format here. Fine. So before even you load the data into this data warehouse, because see, data when you deal in real world will be having a lot of abnormalities here. So data might contain duplicates, data might contain some missing values. Okay. So you have to properly clean this one. And apart from that, we also need to transform this kind of data. What do you mean by transformation? So data transformation is a technique where you convert the data into some business formats here. Like I want to aggregate some kind of data, or I want to join some kind of data, or let's say I want to select only few kind of data, not all the data here. I want to find what are the average sales here across some kind of region, or what are the total sales across different product categories. Okay. So likewise, I would be applying different transformation techniques, and then finally, I'll be loading the data into this enterprise data warehouse. Now you have all the data here. Okay, so you have customer data, you have product data, you have inventory, you have supply chain. Okay, so you have sales data, revenue, everything you have in this enterprise data warehouse. All right. Now what we do is a BI developer. So will be extracting the data, and then he will be maintaining the data in some different repositories here. Now data marts. These are called as data marts. In other ways, you can think a data mart as a subset of data warehouse. What do you mean by this? So subset means it holds only one particular data. Let's say this holds only customer data. This holds product data. This holds sales data. Okay. Because rather than searching from a large pool of data ocean, right, it will be very easier for them if they have data already segregated in this way. Okay. In this way, they can easily extract the data, they can analyze it, and again, they would be coming up with different kinds of reports and dashboards here. So this is what happens in a enterprise data warehouse or a three-tier data warehouse architecture. So here you're extracting, you're transforming, and you're loading. So this process is also referred to as ETL. ETL, extraction, transformation, and loading. So this is also called as extraction, transformation, and again loading. Okay. So this is the process here, which is, especially used in the traditional data warehousing architecture here. Fine. Now, let us try to understand the limitations of this one. So, what are the limitations of this one? Now, industry got adapted to this particular kind of architecture. Okay, so when the data was purely structured and again semi-structured in nature. But now, as I told you, today the data generation is into different formats here. So, as I told you, right, the unstructured kind of data. And as per a Gartner survey, Gartner is one of the popular research-based consulting firms across the globe. So again, Gartner, I mean, as per their research, so they came to know that 80% of the data is getting generated into unstructured format. Okay, so semi-structured data, unstructured data are part here. And again, see, only the rest 20% of the data is into structured format here. Now that means, see, one thing you have to understand. So there are different formats of data that are being generated here. And that is where you people are hyped today. You people are into demand today as a data engineer. So what do? You play with this kind of data. You actually manage this kind of data. Fine. So you will be handling this kind of data. Okay. So your responsibility as a data engineer is to manage, okay, and transform this data into one format. And again, okay, so find the insights from that particular data. So how do we do it? Now let us try to understand the limitations of this one. So as I told you, this traditional data warehouse architecture is fine. Okay, so unless you have, okay, so some kind of structured data. When you have unstructured kind of data, this system doesn't work. So what is the solution for this one? So we can't use this kind of architecture, right? In modern day, okay, so in today's data generated world, so we need to go with some kind of, okay, so solution called as data lakes, data lake. Okay, let me show you that. Data warehouse was data lake. All right. So this is the concept, guys. Now, so things got rapidly changed with this kind of technology. Let me tell you what exactly this one is. So by looking at the limitations of this data warehouse, they have designed the concept of data lake here. So data lake, I'll tell you in other words, how you can understand about data lake is, let us try to understand. We have an Amazon warehouse, large Amazon warehouse in a particular city or a particular location. Now, before being the products being delivered to the respective customers here, what they do, they typically bring all the okay, so products and dump in that warehouse here. And from there, they process the, I mean, products here. Okay, so that means which product has to be delivered to which kind of customer, and again, where is located here. Okay, so this is the process Amazon does here. Fine. In the same way, data lake also serves us in the same kind of way here. So how you can understand this one is data lake is a centralized repository, data repository, where it can help you store the data in its native format. Okay, so helps store data in native format. What do you mean by this one, native format? So meaning if I give you JSON file, you can still load and store it as a JSON file. Don't need to convert this. And again, if I give you some kind of Parquet file, so you can still store it as a Parquet file. So unlike in the concept of this data warehouse, right, where you're converting each and everything, because see, before you try to load the data into this data warehouse, you convert all the data into some kind of structured format. The reason, because data warehouse is purely structured in nature. What does it mean by structure? Relational format. Okay, it is into relational format. But I mean, see, here we are getting data into different formats. Okay, so every data cannot be converted into relational, right? So first of all, the concept is we have to store the data as it is. So we need some kind of use storage layer where it can help us load and store the data as it is here. So that is what is data lake. Fine. And then compared to data warehouse, data lakes are very huge. They handle huge amounts of data, huge volumes of data it can store here because it is purely cloud kind of concept. And data warehouse is purely on premises. On premises means where you have a physical office setup. And again, you will be having some kind of physical servers here. Now, as the data increases, so the company has to invest in a new servers and they have to configure it. And again, they have to store the data. So this is the process, guys. Fine. But in cloud, we don't have to do all these things here. I'll tell you, Sam. Okay, I'll tell you that one. Fine. That one. Fine. So we don't have to do all these things in cloud here because we have cloud players. So they will be hosting the data on behalf of us. So it's just like, say, for example, you will be having your Google Drive, right? And you save all of your contents or whatever it is in Google Drive here. So you're not configuring that one. Okay. You're not hosting that one, right? Fine. Google Drive here. Fine. So Google is maintaining on behalf of us here. Okay. So likewise, Data Lakes is also some kind of cloud repository where we'll be going using this kind of concept in order to host our data here. And then looking at the other thing, so it is data versus purely relational. So I told you that. So when you before you actually load the data into this data warehouse, you actually convert, you actually transform the data into structured format. But here it is not, okay, so not required here. The very basic concept of data lake is to help you store the data as it is. Fine. So this is the requirement, guys. And now let me tell you the bigger picture. All right. Look at this. So as we discussed, data warehouse is purely structured kind of data, and it actually helps you with BI workloads here, business intelligent workloads. So that means reporting. Okay, so reports, dashboards, everything. Now we have already discussed that data lake can help you load different types of data, structured, semi-structured, unstructured kind of data. But again, see, we require both of these platforms here because in real world, you will be playing with data of different formats here. You will be having data into structured format. You will be getting data into unstructured kind of format. Okay. So there are different formats here. Fine. So we require some kind of common platform where we can deal with all this kind of data. Okay. So at once here. So this is where we create some kind of concept called as data lakehouse. So what is a lakehouse? Data warehouse plus data lake. Okay. So take the concept of lakehouse, guys. Okay. So lakehouse is something. Lakehouse is nothing but so your data warehouse plus okay, so data lake here. Okay, so this is called as a lake house. Generally, we call it as a lake house, and we generally create this on top of data bricks. Okay, data bricks. So Databricks is some kind of unified analytics platform. So where we actually build all the data platform here. Fine. So this when see these are a lot of benefits when going with this kind of architecture here. Think of something in this way. So, for example, you want to purchase some kind of products, guys. So, rather than going to different stores for different products here, now what you do, let's say, so product A is present in some kind of store, product B is present in some different kinds of store here. So, likewise, different products are like available in different stores here. Now, what do? You will have to visit different stores in order to purchase those kind of products here. But instead of this one, if I tell you that all of the products can be available as part of one single store, so that is nothing but your lakehouse here. You can transform any kind of data. You can deal with any kind of data. So this is a very beautiful concept that you people will be building as part of your data engineering kind of concept here. Okay. And moreover, you can bring all the data developers under one single roof because let me show you this image here. Let's say you have different data sources, something in this way. So like there are some kind of data which is stored in RDBMS, that is stable format. So which is a SQL here. And some kind of data is into CSV file. And the other kind of data is into JSON and again Parquet. So by the way, so Sam has asked me what is Parquet. Parquet is a big data kind of file format. Now compared to CSV, so how, I mean, see, what are the kind of data that you can maintain in an Excel or regular CSV or Excel file? Any idea, guys? How many records you can maintain as part of a regular CSV or Excel file? It is hardly 1 million, guys, not more than that one. But Parquet has 10 times more than that one. Okay, 10 times more than that particular data you can maintain. And this is the kind of format that we'll be using in big data systems. All right, huge volumes of data. And this is it compressed in nature here. All right, so we'll look at this one later. Fine. So this is the answer for your question, Sam. And so especially we'll be using this kind of format in big data systems here. All right. And let us understand that some of the data is present in some kind of web pages. So using APIs or some other kind of formats, you actually deal with it. And then again, Excel. Okay, so you people know Excel, right? So likewise, so data is also present into different environments and again, different formats here. Now, what you will be doing as a data engineer is you'll be extracting all this kind of data. You'll be ingesting all this data into something called as a data pipelines. So as a data engineer, you will be creating and building something called as a data pipeline. I'll also show you practically, guys, now. Okay, so how you can build this one. And moreover, where you'll be saving this one? I told you, right? We'll be storing this one into something called as a data lake, because see, the huge amounts of data into different formats of data, we can maintain them only into data lakes. Fine. The normal data warehouses are not equipped to store this kind of formats here. Okay, they cannot deal with different formats of data. Fine. And then finally, we use something called as a lake house here, lake house or delta lake, okay, in order to process the data. And finally, so what you do after, okay, so after refining all the data, after formatting all the data, right? So then you share this final data to the multiple other teams here. So there would be some kind of BI team or a data analyst team, so who require some kind of data. So they might be working on some kind of reports, dashboard, building something. Now, other part is, so there is also some kind of data science team. So where they'll be working on different statistical models on your data. Okay. So, for example, they will be finding out like if if this is the discount or this is the rebate I'm giving on some particular product. So, what is the kind of profit I would be getting? So, these kind of things they would be working on, data scientists. And ML team or the machine learning team, they require some kind of data in order to go with prediction. Okay. So, for example, if this is the sales for Apple iPhone, so what could be the sales next month or next quarter? So, this is the kind of predictions they'll be going with. And again, see AI team. So AI team, like for example, they'll be preparing some kind of chatbots or they'll be using some kind of chat GPT systems here, RAG models, LLMs. Okay, so they will be going with this kind of things here. Everyone require data, guys. All right, everyone requires data here. And who is going to give them this data? You as a data engineer. So that is why you are very important in an analytics team here. Because if I give the different formats of data to these people, right, they won't work. They cannot work. Okay. And it is you will be working as a data engineer. You will be managing the entire data pool. Okay. You will be building a robust and scalable data architecture. That's okay. So as I told you in this way, okay. So this is the kind of format you go with. Okay. And then you will be building the data scalable data architecture. And finally, you will be sharing the data. Okay, you will be sharing the data to multiple other teams here. So this is what your role will be. Okay. So whatever I told you, right? Let us see in a practical part here. So let me show you something. Let me take you to Azure portal. So because we'll be learning Azure data kind of thing concepts here. So this is the Azure portal, guys. All right. So once we start with the real world sessions, right, I'll also guide you how you can create your account on Azure, and again how you can do the practicals here. Fine. So as of now, just understand. So something I would be guiding you something. Okay. So now we require some kind of storage systems in order to store the data. Fine. So here what I do, the first thing is I'll be creating some kind of storage account. Think of it in this way, guys. Okay. So let me show you something. All right. So let's say I'll be going with this kind of pipeline. So this is some kind of example of a pipeline. Okay. Let us try to understand. You have some kind of storage account on Azure. So where they have some kind of files here in this kind of format here, CSV, different types of files I'll show you. Okay. And then, so you have the, see, this is the source system here. And this is the target system or destination also we call it as, where you want to load the data here. Okay. So here I'll show you about data lake here. Okay. So data lake. And see how you can move this kind of data. We require a pipeline service. Okay, we require a pipeline service. So think of it as just like a water flows in a pipeline, right? Okay, so similarly, the data flows through a pipeline here. All right. And we require, see, you are, okay, so you will be building this kind of pipelines here. All right. So let us try to do that one practically. And I'll show you how you can do this one in Azure. It is very simple. Look at this one. And again, see, first of all, we require some kind of storage here. Now, what is storage? According to Azure, see, now this is a storage, and again, this is a storage here. Okay, because initially you will be getting this data from your clients here. And then you will have to process this kind of data and finally load it into destination kind of folders here. Okay, destination kind of formats here. So let me show you this. Let us go to storage accounts. So first I'll create some kind of source storage account here. So you have this option. And again, guys, let me tell you one thing. Do not worry, even if you're unable to know what is this options here, because once we start with the real world sessions from 22nd June, So I'll guide you from for each and every option what exactly this is. But as of now, let me quickly show you how you can create a pipeline here. So we need to create something called as a resource group. Resource group is something where you will be deploying all of your Azure sources in one particular region. Now, in the physical office premises, what happens here is when you create something, all of the services will be deployed in the physical server here. Fine. But here, see, now, one thing you need to understand, we are working purely on cloud here. And on cloud, we'll not be hosting something, we'll not be configuring something. So let us take the example of Gmail. Now you open Gmail, I mean, you log into your Gmail, you just look at your mails, you again compose some kind of mails here. Okay, so you send mails to different ones here. But are you hosting it? No, right? Are you maintaining it? No. Are you managing it? No, right? Okay. So who is managing all these things here? Google. Okay. So that is a cloud purely. So here also we'll be just using our data to create something. We'll not be hosting something. So on behalf of us, so Microsoft Azure will be doing this kind of job here. Fine. So first thing, so resource group is something so where your data will be deployed in a data center in a particular region. So that is a resource group here. So I'll go with today's date here. So for example, here it is 20, and then right. Sorry. And then see region, it will ask you some kind of region. So right now it will automatically take some kind of region. In your cases, it will show you East US or something. Okay. So let me also show you this here. For example, if I do it, see, if I show you US, right? See, these are the different regions in US. We have Central US, East US, West US 2. And again, of course, we also have some other kind of regions here. East US 2, North Central US, South Central US, West Central US. So what you can understand by these regions here, these are deployment regions. These are some kind of data centers. Okay, so where your data will get stored here, right? So likewise, I mean, see, data depending upon your IP and again your region, right? Automatically, it will take some kind of region. It will, I mean, show you some kind of region here. And then preferred storage type is, so I want to store the data. I told you, right? So we need to go with some kind of storage here. Okay, so I'll be using this one. Do not worry about blob and data lake. We'll also learn this one once we start the sessions here. This is just to show you some kind of pipeline, how the data actually flows here. Now, so this is some kind of backup kind of thing. Again, I'll click next here. And again, I'll click next. So do not worry, guys. As I told you, just see what I'm trying to do here. And finally, I'll click on review plus create. So it will create this particular service and again, it will deploy. Okay, so in Azure Cloud in a particular resource group here. So it is validating, meaning it is checking for errors and again some other kind of things here. So once it is completely free of errors, then it will enable us to create this particular service here. Let us wait. See, there are no errors here. Okay, so that we can easily create this particular service. So now what we do, now we are creating source here, source account. Okay, we also require a destination service, right? Where we can load the data. So let us go and create another destination. So here the destination is data lake. In fact, I'm actually creating something in this way, guys. Okay. So there is some kind of source account here. So which is also called as a blob. Okay. So blob is some kind of storage account, guys. And again, so where I'm trying to load this one into ADLS or data lake here. Okay. Data lake. Okay. Here in Azure, it is also called as ADLS, meaning Azure Data Lake Storage. And I require some kind of ADF pipeline. Okay. ADF pipeline in order to move the data. Okay. So from source to data lake here. Fine. So now let us also try to create this one. And I'll go with the same thing. So I'm quickly creating something and okay. So do not worry, we'll learn all these options here. All right. So once we go with the actual sessions, once we start with the actual sessions here, create. I hope this service, see, the deployment is complete here. Now, if I click on go to resource, I'll also show you where we have created this particular service here. So let me take you to something called as the okay. So under the data management, you have something called as redundancy. Fine. Now here is where see. So here my service has been located here. Fine. In your case, according to your IP, you might be okay. So choosing some kind of service in US or something. So likewise, it will show you where you have created this particular, where you are deploying this particular service here. Fine. In real world as well. So your admins, so your cloud admins or your okay, so architects here. Okay, they will be doing this for you here. All right. So now that see in Azure. Okay, so we actually create. So this is called as a storage account, guys. You can see this one, right? So this is called as a storage account. Okay. Now in this storage account, the data actually resides in something called as containers. Now these are the storage containers here. Okay. So let me create some kind of containers. Source files. I'll call it as source files here. Okay. So let me create this one and let me upload some kind of data into this. Okay. So I'll click on upload and browse for files and then I'll upload some kind of data here. Okay, so let me show you something. Okay, so data sources. See, this is JSON file, this is text file, this is CSV file, and again, so this is again office supplies. And then look at this one. I have different types of files here. All right. So let me also go with some other things here. Right. See, you have a CSV file, you have a Parquet file. Again, so you also have some kind of text file. You also have some kind of JSON file here. Okay. So this is what I told you, right? We can maintain, we can store different types of data, different formats of data. But in the traditional data warehouse, this is not possible here. In the traditional data warehouse, you will have to convert every data into relational format. Okay. Only then you can store the data. Now here easily we can maintain different formats of data. So this is the kind of concept here. Okay. Now, once we have this one, right, I'll also prepare my destination. Okay. See, in Azure, data will be stored into storage containers in containers here. Okay. Inside a storage account in containers. So here also, I'll be preparing some kind of container. So this one, I'll call it as target files. Okay, target files here. Fine. So now you have both the containers, guys. Okay. So that means you have this kind of concept now. Okay. You have a source account. You also have a destination account. Now, what is that we require here? We require a pipeline service, pipeline. Okay. So how to create a pipeline? For this one, we have something called as, okay. So now see, again in my target files is empty. Our pipeline has to load this data in here. Are you getting my point? It has to pick up the data from source files here. Okay. And again, it has to load the data here. So this is how it actually goes here. So now what I do, I'll quickly head over to something called as data factory because in Azure Data Engineering, right? The pipeline service can be built using something called as Azure Data Factory. So here, let me go with create and again, so creating Azure Data Factory is very simple, guys. So ADF AUN20. And then see, I'm actually creating something in East US, or you can again go with, so for example, different region here. Okay, so let me go with this region. And again, let me click next here. So review plus create. So this is very simple to create. All right. So you can now see the deployment is complete. So click on go to resource here, right? See, now you have all the components here. Now what we have to do, we have to connect them. Okay, so let me show you how to do this one. So let me go to my data factory and okay, so how to click on launch studio. So now it will create the entire environment for you. Okay, so how to deal with this. Okay, so this is the data factory that we have created. Okay, so this is how it actually looks like. So this is the UI part of your data factory. Now you have something called as ingest data. Orchestrate is nothing but automate this process here, transform the data, and again configure SSIS. So this is again some other service here. Now, this one thing is, let me tell you something. We have different components here. We have this one, we have files also located into this particular source folder here. And again, we also have some kind of pipeline service. Again, we have a destination kind of format here. Okay, you have all the I mean, see, components here, but you will have to connect this one, right? See, in order to pick up the file, first of all, we have to establish a connection, right? Think of a water pipeline, guys. Okay, from source to some kind of destination, you want to flow the water here. Fine. But first of all, you have to make the enough connections, right? Only then the water will be flowing through that pipeline here. Okay. It is also the same thing that we do here. Fine. So now let me head back to this one. So the first thing is we require some kind of connections here. Okay, so these are the connections here. Now from the source to data factory, we have to establish a connection. Again, from the data factory to target here, that is the destination, we'll have to establish a connection. So that thing is called as a link service. Okay, link service. Fine. So if I click on new, now look at how many different services you have here. Almost all 100 plus services ADF offers you, where you can extract the data, where you can connect to different kinds of services here. Okay, look at this one. You have Amazon RDS. Okay, you have again Amazon Redshift. Okay, so this is some kind of data warehouse kind of things here. Okay, from Amazon AWS here. Amazon S3. So this is the data lake present in AWS service here. And again, you have Apache Impala. Okay, Asana. This is the project managers will be using this kind of tool here. Azure AI search. So this is just like your Google search, but it is AI search here. And again, blob storage. Now we have created this one here. Okay, and this is our destination here. So this is our source here, Azure Blob Storage, and data lake storage. This will be our destination here. Fine. And again, MySQL, you have Postgres here. You have Delta Lake here. So now we have already discussed Delta Lake, right? So we'll look at that in Databricks here. And again, see, you have Azure Key Vault, Azure SQL Database, Azure SQL Database Management Instance, Cassandra. So this is just like some kind of big data, I mean, storage techniques here. IBM DB2. Okay, Dynamics 365 platform. Again, you have FTP, GitHub. You people know GitHub, right? Popular developer community. Okay, Google Hats, Google BigQuery. Okay, again, Google Cloud Storage here. So this is the data lake in GCP. And again, HP Greenplum, HDFS, Big Data. Okay, so this is Big Data, HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System. And again, HTTP, Apache Hive, HubSpot, IBM Informix, Jira, okay, MariaDB, Microsoft 365 Office Suite, Microsoft Access, okay, so MongoDB, MongoDB Atlas, again, MySQL, Netezza, ODBC, OData. Look at this one. You have several. Again, you have also have connectivity to SAP kind of sources as well. Okay, and again, Salesforce Cloud also, ServiceNow, SQL Server. This is Microsoft SQL Server on premises. If you see this gear symbol, so this you need to understand it is on premises solution, guys. And again, Shopify e-commerce portal. And again, you have Smartsheet, Snowflake, Spark. Okay, again, Square, Sybase, Teamdesk, Teradata, Twilio, Vertica, Webtable, Zero, Zendesk, Data.world here. Look at this one. How many different ecosystems you have here. So where you can connect to and extract the data here. Fine. Now let us see what is our source here. It is a blob, right? And where it is, again, it is an Azure only. Okay, so let us connect to that. Okay, I'll be typing something called as a blob here. Now I'm establishing connection to my blob to pipeline. So click continue. And then what I do is I'll go with some kind of name in this way. Do not worry about the options here. As I told you, once we start with the actual sessions, I'll walk you down through each and every option here. As of now, just look at what I'm just doing here. So storage account, I'll be actually connecting to my storage account here. Okay. Then there is something called as test connection. So blob one. So let me give something in this way. All right. So let me click on test connection. So testing connection is nothing but it will ensure the connection has been properly established here. So basically what we have done now is, so we have actually created a connection from our source to pipeline. Fine. This is what we have done here. Now, the other thing is we also require a connection from pipeline to destination, right? Because the data has to flow. All right. So now what we'll do, so we'll also try to establish a connection. So data lake, see, this is the data lake. We have to connect to it and then click on continue. And there is something, well, name it. Excuse me, guys. All right. So I'll go with the subscription and again the storage account. So you'll have to select the data lake storage account name. Again, click on test connection. So you can see the connection has been successfully established here. So that means we now have connection from our pipeline to the source as well as the target here. Okay. So we have this connection here. And again, we also have this connection. Now we'll have to move the data. So let me show you how to do that one. So let me head back to the Home tab. I'll go with ingest option here. There's some kind of option called ingest. So this is called as a copy data tool. Okay. So task cadence says run once now, click next. And then what is our source type here? So where is your source data located? Blob storage, right? So here you will have to select that one. So there are even several different options here, but select the source where your actual data is present here. So this is our stores here. Okay, Azure Blob Storage. And connection is nothing but the link service. We have already established a connection, right? Let me select that one. So once I've done that one, right, again, it will ask me to select my file. Okay. So what is the kind of data or file that you want to move? So click on browse. It will redirect me to the source folder here. So this is where my data is actually present. See, from this one, so let me go to the products here, products.csv. Okay, so click OK and then click next here. Now it will ask me, okay, so see, it will automatically find out what is the file type here. I'm not doing anything, guys. By itself, it will find out what is the file type that we are selecting here. Okay. So it is some kind of comma separated value file here. You can also preview the data here. See, it will show you sample data. Okay. So this is how this data looks like here. Okay. So this is one. It is automatically reading the data. So again, click next here. Again, what is the destination type? Where you want to load this one into data lake here. So Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. And again, you have we have a all connection for this one. So let us select that. And now, so it will again ask us to select the folder where we want to load this one. So we want to load it into data lake folder here. Okay. So this is the folder. Initially, it is empty, as I told you. Our pipeline has to load the data here. Fine. So let me click OK here. And now click next. So again, this is the file format that it will be loading. And again, click next here. So it will ask me to give some name to the pipeline. So I'll give it some kind of name, products. Okay. So PL underscore products here. PL stands for pipeline. Fine. So let me again click next here. So this is what it is actually doing, guys. From Azure Blob Storage to Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, it is okay. So loading the data into this kind of service here. Fine. Now let me, if I click next, right? So it will validate all these settings here now. Okay, it will do the job here. So that means it will run the pipeline here. Okay. So it will first validate the set connections. Second, it will validate the data sets here. Third, it will validate the different connections here. Okay. Then finally, it will run the pipeline here. Fine. It will take a while, guys, before it actually runs the pipeline. See, validating copy runtime environment. So creating data sets. It has created the data set. Pipelines is successful. Running pipelines is successful. That means overall, the deployment has been completed without any errors here. Okay. And you can see the pipeline is successful. Now, if I want to show you, right, let me also show you head back to the monitor section. You can also check the pipeline here. So it is still, completing the process here. Let us wait until it is complete. So let me refresh this. See, pipeline is successful. What do you mean by the pipeline is successful here? Pipeline is successful means the data has been successfully moved or copied from the source to the environment. That is the destination. Now, how to check it? Go to the data lake here. So let me take you down to the data lake. So this is the data lake. Initially, it was empty, right? Now you can see the data here. So this is our folder, right? Look at this. products.csv. Initially, it was empty, right? So our pipeline has loaded the data here. And now you can see the data as well here. Look at this. Okay. So this is how you'll be creating a pipeline and you will be moving data from a source to a destination. And let me tell you guys, here the in real world, the sources would be different here. Okay. So let me also tell you about the different types of sources here. Your environment here. Okay. Your environment, the actual data environment. So what are the different types of sources here? Sources. Now sources, I'll divide it into files here first. So files you will be playing with CSV file. You'll also be playing with Excel file, JSON, and again some kind of Parquet. So Parquet is a big data format, as I told you, where it can load, I mean, like almost all 10 million plus kind of data. All right. And again, some kind of text files here. Okay, text files. Fine. These are the formats here. And database. So database, if I tell you, I'll again divide that into on-prem and again cloud here. Okay, cloud. Now, what is on-prem? So where you have a physical setup here. So where you will download something, and again you will be like, for example, how do you play with Oracle, Microsoft SQL here? You'll be downloading that. You'll be installing that in your laptop or your desktop, whatever it is, and again you'll be handling the data there, right? Okay. In on-premises, you have Microsoft SQL Server, for example. Okay. Oracle. Likewise, there are different types of databases. In cloud, again, we have Azure SQL database. And then we also have AWS, like for example, Redshift or AWS RDS. Okay, so this is again some kind of thing. Snowflake. Okay, so likewise, you have different kind of data here. Fine. And again, you also extract the data from some kind of web sources here. Okay, so web sources. And you extract the data using some kind of APIs also, APIs. Okay. And so these are the different formats you'll be having. Now, what are the destination formats where you will be loading the data? So you will be loading the data into two different things here. One is Azure SQL database. Okay. Then comes the concept of ADLS. ADLS meaning data lake, guys. Azure Data Lake Storage here. So it is the data lake. Okay. So in Azure SQL database, you will be maintaining the data in a structured format. Structured format. And what about this one? So here you will be maintaining the data in something called as a unstructured format here. Okay. Because see, in real world, you will be having different, you will be playing with different formats of data. So as per the data, as in like what kind of data you receive it, right? You will be maintaining them in this kind of destinations here. Now shown you ADLS. So once we start with the actual sessions, I'll also show you how to configure Azure SQL database and how to move the data, how to actually store the data into that one here. Fine. Now these are about data movement kind of things. Then what is about data processing and data transformation? Data processing and data transformation. See, what is data transformation in the sense? Now, I want to clean my data. So understand that there are some kind of duplicates in it. And there are some kind of, for example, let's say missing values here. And of course, so some kind of data is also into different formats here, like big data format here. For all those kind of things, we use different services here called Azure Data Factory. And again, so popularly, this is also called as ADF, guys. Okay, so this is also called ADF, this service here. And then, so we'll also be using something called as Azure Databricks. This is very powerful kind of concept in order to land a job quickly, right? If you know this thing, right? Okay, so you can easily land a job. Here will be, you will have to know something about Python and Apache Spark. So we have a like for example, separate like for example sessions on Python and Apache Spark as part of this particular course, guys. Okay, Apache Spark here. And if you want a unified end-to-end kind of ecosystem, right? Unified and end-to-end. Okay, end-to-end. Okay, so data analytics platform. Data analytics platform. So this is where we actually use something called as Azure. Okay, so it is also now called as Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric here. Fine. And for security and governance. security and governance, we have something called as Microsoft Entra ID, and then we also have something called as Azure Key Vault here. Okay, then okay, so we have something called as CI/CD pipelines also. We'll also be discussing that one here as part of the course here, CI/CD pipelines here, and then something called as Azure Functions. Okay, so these are the different things that we'll be learning. Now, let me quickly show you what, okay, so they are asking actually in interviews. Okay, so if I quickly head over to dice.com, okay, so you can even check it in LinkedIn as well, guys. All right, so let me show you something. Okay, so Azure Data Engineer, fine. So let me show you this. Okay, so this is the title. And again, let me search for jobs here. So see how many jobs you're having. 11,935 jobs are listed only on dice.com. Okay. So let me also show you quickly. I'll also go with AWS here. Okay. I hope someone has asked me, right? AWS data engineer. How many jobs are listed? 707. So you can understand the huge gap, right? Why? I'll also tell you the reason why. Fine. Now look at this. So let me show you quickly what they're asking you. Okay. So that you will be getting some kind of understanding like what exactly they're asking you and what you need to prepare here. And are we okay? So having the right kind of contents in our okay, so as part of our course or not, let me also show you these things. See, if I show you the JD, the job description, so to see how you'll manage this job, okay, fitment. Oh my God, it's not showing me anything. Fine. Oh, I'll have to log into this one, guys. Okay, I have this one. Okay, fine. I also have the JD here. Sorry. Fine. Now look at this one. See what they're asking you. Experience building scalable ETL or ELT pipelines here. Now, what is ELT? In data engineering, we actually go with ELT, guys. Okay. Now, if you remember, I quickly told you something about ETL, right? So this is what we actually follow in traditional data warehousing systems here. But what I told you, see, you extract the data. I mean, using these pipelines here, you first load the data into some kind of data lake here, and then finally you transform the data. So this is what is called as ELT. So rather than following ETL kind of architectures, right? Here we follow something called as ELT kind of concepts here. So first what you do, you extract the data. First you try to load the data into data lake, then think about how to process and transform that kind of data. So this is what we actually do here. So he's asking you the same thing. ETL or ELT pipelines here. Okay. So Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Data Factory or Azure Databricks here. Okay. Any one of these services here. Now we'll be learning these two services here. Previously, there was a service called Azure Synapse Analytics, but now they have renamed this one to something called as Microsoft Fabric. All right. And then look at this one. Experience with direct development using Azure services such as Azure Synapse Analytics, that is Microsoft Fabric guys now. And Azure Data Factory, Logic Apps. So Azure Functions it is also called Azure Key Vault here. I told you this one also, right? ADLS Gen 2 and Azure Databricks here. So you can look at this one. See, now, whatever things I told you, right? Azure Key Vault here. Okay. Azure Logic Apps. So it is also called Azure Functions here. Okay. And you have ADLS here. I already told you this one, ADLS. Okay. You can even look at this one. See, what are we learning the right kind of contents or not? Azure Databricks, I told you. Azure Data Factory also. Okay. Then again, see, look at this one. So you'll have to build pipelines from different environments here. Okay. And then see what are the kind of skills if you need to have experience with Python, so SQL here, it is SQL actually. So T-SQL and Spark SQL and PySpark here. Anyways, I told you, right? Python and Apache Spark, we have a separate sessions on this one. Fine. So look at this one. See, they're also asking you something related to Azure Databricks here. Okay. So you can go to this particular thing here, Azure D or Databricks certification. I'll also tell you about the certification part here. So this is one kind of jobs in description. And again, this is TEK systems here. Look at this one again. So what they're asking you, design, build and maintain scalable data engineering solutions leveraging an existing Azure data lake here. Okay. Azure Data Factory, SQL and Python. See, look at this one. What they're asking you. Experience with Azure Synapse, that is Microsoft Fabric, Azure Data Factory. And again, Azure Data Platform, SQL Server here. Fine. We have this one, right? So I'll also show you the course contents also. And again, look at this other thing here. So they're again asking you ETL and ELT pipelines here. Again, the same thing here. ADLS Gen 2 and something. So if you know some other things also, anyways, Databricks also will be learning. Snowflake, I mean, it's an additional concept here, but again, you don't have to know Snowflake here. Fine. If you know, that will be an added advantage here. Fine. So these are the things they're asking you. Look at this thing. Okay. So take it any kind of job role, guys. So we are learning the right contents here. Okay. And I'll show you the contents also. See, I've also included Power BI as part of this course also, guys. Now let me show you the course contents here. So what exactly we are learning here? So we will be starting with Azure for the data engineer, that is the Azure basics here. And these are the different services you have to know, okay, as part of Azure. And again, the data storages will also be learning this one. Now we'll be starting with Azure Data Factory. Okay, now I quickly shown you how to create a pipeline using Azure Data Factory. And then Python after Azure Data Factory will be discussing Python and again Apache Spark here. So we'll have a deep dive into these kind of sessions here before we actually enter into Azure Databricks. And then finally, we have Microsoft Fabric data engineering. And then, so hands-on real-time scenarios here. So one, see, when you will be learning this kind of services, right, we'll be learning using some kind of different hands-on scenarios, real-time scenarios here. Fine. So after this, Power BI. I've also included Power BI as part of this course here. So we'll also be learning, I mean, we'll also be doing a project into Power BI because as an end user, so sometimes you'll also have to create some kind of reports, dashboard, and something. Okay, so we'll also do that one quickly. And the real-time projects here. So what about the real-time projects? So you will be building almost all 5 to 7 real-world projects here. Okay, 5 to 7 real-world projects. One into data migration, one into an end-to-end data pipeline, end-to-end data pipeline. Okay, so using Databricks here and incremental loading, SCD concept here, and again some kind of Microsoft Fabric project, and again Power BI project here. Fine. So after the end of this course, so I'll also walk you down through different interview questions and answers here. So what they'll be exactly asking you in interviews and how you need to answer them. So again, how you can prepare your profile as well. So this your resume or CV or your LinkedIn profile as well here. I'll also guide you in preparing those things here. Fine. And regarding the certification part, now we have two different certifications here. So one is the Azure Data Engineering Certification. So that is Microsoft Fabric Data Engineering Certification. We also call it as DP 700. The other one is DP 550. Let me show you this. You can go with writing any one of these certifications. This is again, it is not mandatory, but from the Azure, we have these certifications here. DP 700. Sorry. So this is Microsoft Certified Data Engineer Associate. So after the course, in case if you wish to write any certification, you can also go with this one. Okay. So again, the other one is from Azure. We also have Azure Data Bricks certification here. Now this is the new certification. Okay. So from Azure, we also have the certification as well. See, Microsoft Certified Azure Databricks Data Engineer Associate here. Okay, you can go with any of these two certifications here. And trust me, guys, okay, so we have a separate roles for Databricks also, and again, Microsoft Fabric also in US, especially US here. Okay, so there are companies who are hiring only onto Fabric here, and there are also companies who are only hiring onto Databricks also. So once you learn this particular course, right, you can go with any of these job roles here. And as I told you, I mean, after this one, right, I'll also tell you something about the generative AI concepts here. Okay, so this is the latest thing that we want to add as a bonus to this course here, generative AI. So we'll learn Gen AI systems here. Okay, like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and those things here, and LLMs here. Okay, LLMs. Okay, so these are the things we'll be learning. So if you at least know what is AI and what is generative AI, that would be beneficial to you. All right. So I hope I told you all the things here. We have even looked at a practical scenario today and how the data actually flows here, how to create a pipeline. And then I've also shown you the JD as well. Okay, so what exactly they are asking you. And I've also walked you down through the course contents also. We are having all the services that is required for you to land a job quickly into this particular roles here. Right? So that's it. Now I'll take your questions one by one here. And okay, so how is Azure Data Engineer different from AWS Data Engineer here, Sam? So let me tell you, as I even shown you the kind of jobs that we have. So today Azure is ruling across different domains here because when Microsoft joined hands with OpenAI, things got rapidly changed here. So they are heavily investing into AI, and so whatever the Microsoft is giving, offering you services, right? They're offering you at a cheaper cost here compared to AWS. So example, if AWS is charging you $100 for particular service, right? Azure will be charging you only 30 to $40 here, not more than that one. So that is a huge comparison here. And companies want to leverage their cost, okay, so reduce their cost here. That is why there are more jobs onto Azure platform compared to AWS. All right. And what is Parquet file? So as I told you, Parquet is some kind of big data format here. In order to store huge amounts of data, we'll be using Parquet files in real world. And what is the prerequisite? Okay, so will you be cover Python and PySQL? So Sam, as I told you, Python and Apache Spark here. PL SQL is not required. Okay. So Python and Apache Spark, these is required here. Okay, so PySpark here. Since there are so many subjects, how is it possible to cover everything in just 1 hour? I was only estimating the time required. So, as I told you, the course is planned for about 2 months here. So, do not worry because if I will be teaching you for about 2 hours, it will be some kind of rushing of some kind of things here. So, I do not want to rush up the concepts because everyone is coming from different backgrounds here. So, academic backgrounds here. So 1 hour is enough actually. I'll give you also some kind of assignments so that you people have to do it. And again, you people have to submit that one. Okay. So it will how it will actually go here. And each and every session will be recorded. And again, it will be shared to you via the Google Drive. And again, the Google Drive access will be given to you. So you can watch the recordings anytime you want. And then you can even complete the assignments here. We will learn Azure SQL in detail also. Also, what about detailed performance and monitoring? Yes, of course, Sham. Okay, so as part of pipeline creation, and again, right, we also require performance optimization. Okay, so performance tuning kind of steps here. We'll also do that one. Yes. How much of AI related to DE content are you covering? So for DE, data engineering, right, we require just LLMs here. Okay. So if you know those things here, that is itself is enough here. So we'll go with Open AI framework, GPT models here. I'll also show you different things here. Do not worry. Fine. So hope I answered all of your questions. Any other questions? I hope you people got an understanding, right? What will be exactly doing as part of data engineering. So you will be given data from different formats here into different environments here. So you'll have to extract that data, build a pipeline, ingest that data in through that pipeline, and load the data into data lake. Then finally process that kind of data. Yeah, are you providing a certificate after completing? I hope so. So Silva will answer this one. Yes, are we are going deep into database. Yes, of course. Yes. Again, guys, as Silva also mentioned you, so he'll also be like for example, providing you some kind of job related kind of services here after the course here. So you don't have to worry, but only the thing is, time to time, please complete all the assignments and the kind of things that has been given to you, assigned to you. All right. So total duration of this course here. So it will be 40 to 50 hours kind of course, guys. Okay. Total duration, entire 2 months kind of course here. And daily schedule, it will be 60 to 90 minute session here. Okay. From Monday to Friday, guys. Yes, same time. It will be the same time. So the sessions would be starting from June 22nd here. So we'll start our actual real world sessions from June 22nd. So all of you, please attend from June 22nd, connect from June 22nd. Okay. So we'll be starting with our actual sessions here. Fine.
If
Any
there
other
are no
questions,
more,
guys?
and
Yeah.
Any more questions? I hope we've enjoyed our classes. The first demonstration, I think it was interesting. Yes, the recordings are available and will be shared in the forum. So we have a forum, we have a WhatsApp forum, and everyone will have to join this forum. We'll have to put you inside this forum. But now you guys, you need to register. You need to enroll in the course. I don't know. Let me share my screen real quick here for us to talk about the next steps about the course. Um, so so if you can see my screen, the next steps about the course, we have to proceed with the registration, and the registration you do it by enrolling and completing your payment. So you inbox me with your email and your name. When you inbox me with your email and your name, then we have to add you to our Drive database. So that when we share all the course materials and the recordings, every day the recordings will be shared. You'll receive it, and that is a live access for you. Yeah, our materials and videos, everything will be live access for you if you register in this course. So currently we are doing a 20% discount off. The total money to be paid for this course is $499. And if you have to pay this 20% discount, that means we'll take off this $99. You'll be paying $400. And this discount goes until the 22nd. That means the day we are officially beginning this course, the discount ends on that day. So we hope that people will enroll and they will pay their their amount that they have to pay for the course. So inbox me with your email and your name. Let me include you on the list, and then we proceed with the payment. So that I send you the payment details. So if there are any questions, you can ask. So I equally wanted to mention that at the end of this training, we are going to have a recognized certificate of completion um, given to you, issued by TC Demi. TC Demi is a registered and branded institution here in the United States, and our certificates are legit. So at the end, we will have these certificates that we'll have to give to you, and you see it have a QR code. When you present it anywhere, when they scan it, they're gonna see have a lot of information about this training. So that is it right there, and I hope you guys are seeing it. Um, any more questions? As the teacher said, we will be having career orientation. We'll be supporting you with your jobs. We'll be supporting you with interviews, supporting you with your resumes, strengthening your LinkedIn profile. But that is on the condition that you enroll on this course and we study it to a certain level, so that we should know that you, at least you can represent us, you have the required skills. Yes, I see somebody have raised their hand. Can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
All right. I just wanted to know, is this program beginners friendly for someone who does not have any background with database or data analytics?
Yes, of course,
Yes, of course.
it's a very beginner friendly course. So all the concepts that are part of this course will be taught from scratch here. So you don't have to worry about anything. Even if it is Python, Apache Spark, database or whatever it is, will be taught from scratch here. So it is completely a beginner friendly course.
All right. So I just got to like stumble on the flyer on Instagram. What time does the training end? What time of the day?
So the training takes place in the evenings. In the evenings, we need to where you are located, but know that it's gonna start from 7:30 6:30 to 8:30. That is Central Time. Then from 8 to 9 Eastern Time. It's gonna be between 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes training every day because
Okay.
after after the presentation there will be some interactions. You ask your questions and the teacher will take them.
Okay. All right. I'm located Central Time, so I just wanted to be sure.
Right. So any other questions, guys, before we wind up this session? Any quick questions from your side? So as Silva told, the sessions will be starting from 22nd June. So we'll be starting our live sessions from 22nd June. And it's completely beginner friendly course as we have discussed here. So we'll be starting from scratch, guys. So you don't have to worry for anything. So just follow the instructions and learn the concepts as I direct you. So you will be landing jobs quickly. So most of my students got landed into different organizations, different companies here in US and across the globe as well, like Australia, India, UK, and Middle East as well. So I'll be teaching you all those kind of concepts here and also help you. I'll also guide you in landing a job as soon as possible. Yes, yes, of course, as well. So every day the materials or the notes will be shared with you. Yes, the job market is really doing fine on Azure Data Engineering. Okay, so let me show you some things, some facts here. Okay, so I think already showed you on this one, right? Okay, so you can even compare this one. So we have a lot of jobs here. Okay, this was only listed on dice.com here. And then I was already shown you about AWS as well. So you can even check with other sites as well. You will come to know the facts here. And let me also show you something. So let me go with ChatGPT. Okay, so let me ask it a quick question. Hey, my students want to learn Azure Data Engineering. So let me know if this is the right choice for them in this present AI field here. And also compare with AWS. So let me know which is trending, Azure Data Engineering or AWS. Thank you. So I'm
Yes.
asking it.
Yeah. Any more question? I'm right here.
So
Okay.
yeah. See, if your students are planning careers in today's AI-driven market, Azure Data Engineering is absolutely a strong choice. But whether it is better than AWS depends on the type of companies and roles they are targeting it. Okay, so look at this one. First, is Azure Data Engineering a good choice in the AI era? Yes, definitely. Here is why. AI systems and data pipelines before they need models here, especially generative AI. See, that is what I told you, right? Every team, whether it is generative AI and whether it is some kind of okay, so ML team, data science team, AI team, or something, they require data. And who is going to give them this data? You as a data engineers here. Fine. Okay, look at this one. Azure was AWS for data engineering 2026 perspective. Enterprise adoption, Azure data engineering, very high. Okay. But again, as I told you, see, learning curve, it is easier for beginners here, Azure data engineering. If you look at here, right, AWS data engineering, it is slightly harder here. Okay. Fine. Look at this one. So there are, see, Microsoft ecosystem integration. This is the best here. So this is limited only. Okay. That is why people or companies or organizations or enterprises across the globe, they are choosing Azure data engineering because of the cost kind of reasons also. Fine. And then why Azure is trending right now? Because see, Azure has got fast because enterprises already use Microsoft products here. And you know the market of Microsoft, right? So they are actually, I mean, having a huge market here. Okay, look at this one. Current trend in India. You can also look at in US as well. Okay, so I think I've already shown you this in US here. Okay, and dice.com. So Azure Data Engineer, and again, see, even if you check it, AWS Data Engineer, you will come to know, I mean, what are the jobs here. So how many jobs are listed here? Fine. So in this present AI era, right? So you will have much more demand here. So Azure Data Engineering plus AI Engineering. Okay, so Microsoft Fabric plus generative AI integration. That is why I told you we'll also be learning generative AI here. Okay, so we look at also these things here. Fine. Now you can understand the importance of this one, and which is having huge job market here. So anything else, guys? Any other questions?
Any question, guys? Okay, so I thank you very much, everyone that have has attended this session. I expect you guys to inbox me, send me your name and your email so I can get your name on the register. Then we can proceed with the registration on enrollment process. Just to remind you that we are beginning next week on June 22nd fully. Please endeavor to be in the class. So we accept installments and you can get to me to do your negotiations. Let's see how we will proceed. We have a package for everyone. And just a reminder, this course is for everyone, no matter your background, because our trainer, you listen to him today, he's taking everything from scratch. So no one will be left behind. And your questions, he's always there to answer them. So at the end of the day, the final group that will be for this class, those who have registered will be in that group, and our teacher will be there. Our trainer will be there to answer your questions no matter the time. You submit your assignments and he validates them. So thank you very much, and inbox me so we can proceed with the rest of the registration or the enrollment process. Until next week, let's meet again. And thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you. I see you.
Yeah.